Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Unknown transforming robot. It's probably shit, but if I just bet a quid, it really won't matter.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ray here, back from the transformation rethingy. And I knew that that was a deluxe bulkhead. I knew that it was the deluxe. I knew it was too big to be a Cyberverse. I'm very pleased about that. So we're getting a deluxe bulkhead for Beast Hunters. And we're also getting a brand new smoke screen. And I like how they look. Ripclaw, have you seen her? It's all shaping up really nicely. So it's going to be a good year for bots. It's going to be nice things happening this year. So today, ladies and gentlemen, ever since I went to Auto Assembly last year, I've had this guy. And I'm very, very pleased to get it. Now, I've wanted it ever since I realised I didn't have it, if that makes any sense. And also whenever Sammy, the redoubtable Skullgrin 140. We see, we all remember your handle. And I remember it. It's got numbers in it. I don't remember anybody else's numbers, but I remember yours. Sammy. Whenever he got his Landfill out, and he showed us his Landfill, and I just loved it. So, from whenever I didn't have it to begin with, if that makes any sense, it does to me, and that's the main thing. And also whenever Sammy showed his, and it just looked absolutely fantastic. So, I went to Auto Assembly last year, and I got this. They're all there. I love a bots in a box. I love a box like this because you can put them in and take them out. Very, very nice. Now, this is the second version. The original one has, you know, the multicolored ones, and to be fair, the plastic is considerably better and the finish is considerably better. But the one that you want is the one that I don't have. It's Universe Devastator version. So you've got those wonderful greens and purples, and he's a Decepticon. Those are the ones you want. But this is where we're going to start today, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with me as we go through all four and then go to the combined mode. Bear with me. And we'll start with little Grimlock, shall we? Because he's the one I got first. When I say he's the one I got first, he's the one I got first. So I'll show you a little bit of comparison. Does he have a little flash? No, he doesn't. So this is the first Grimlock that came out, and Grimlock, isn't it though? A big green Grimlock, and he's a crane. No, he's not a crane. What is he? He's a bucket scooper. A bucket scooper. That's what I'm going to call him. And that comes off. Lots of stuff comes off these guys. Stuff comes off all over the place, and you just kind of have to live with it. Stay. So here we have a nice green Grimlock, but the one that I want to focus on today is the yellow Grimlock. This one is lighter. This one is lighter, and he feels a little more brittle. But that's the way. Remember when I got Brave Maximus for the first time? I was dreaming about that bot before he arrived here. I absolutely was. It's no word of a lie. And opened the box, and there he was, and he looked absolutely fantastic. Excuse me. And got him out, and I was having a good old play, you know, the way that you do. And then after I had a good initial play, I realized that the plastic was kind of a little bit shit. And I did find that then subsequently with other R.I.D. bots. It's just sometimes the plastic was a little bit shit, a little bit cheap. But we're used to cheap plastic these days, aren't we? This is Grimlock. I always thought he was the leader. Maybe he isn't. I just assumed he was. He's got this nice little silvery flash here, and this kind of burnished look as if he were moving Earth. Isn't that what they do? He has a little bit of movement here. His bucket's going to move. This shit's going to happen. A little bit of movement there. The tracks are not real tracks, unfortunately. It's always nice to have real tracks, isn't it? Just have a thing for real tracks. Now, because of the nature of these guys, is that they open up all over the place. And an interesting thing about Landfill is that, now who is it? It's, which one forms the central? The one who is it, Wedge forms the central torso, always. And then the others can either form, each one can form either a leg or both arms, which is kind of funky. And so, you know, the deal with these bots is that there's always something a little bit compromised in their makeup because they do combine. So they have to make allowances for, you know, essentially three different versions of it. So the bot, it's usually the bot that's a little bit compromised. Often the alt mode doesn't seem to suffer as much from it, but it's usually the bot. And in these cases, the case of these guys, it is the bot. But do you know? Some of them are better than others. Some of them are really, really crazy silly. None of them are very bad, but some of them are just a little bit, oh, bless, they didn't quite hit the mark there. And all of their legs are very, very dodgy they because of the gimmick, because of the fact that they can either form, each of them can form both arms or one leg. So they've all got this kind of thing going on with the leg here. Oh, I'm about to run out of battery power. Be back in a second. There we are, back in the room. So yeah, so they've all got this very odd leg arrangement because you can imagine this going around the back of each shoulder and forming some kind of arm, or coming together to form, in this case, some kind of leg. And the legs aren't entirely successful, but it is mainly because my main gripe is with this arrangement here. These folds, they just don't look very sound. His arms also for this guy are a little bit squiffy, but again, that's the nature. That's the nature of a combining bot. You don't have to think of G1 in order to know how far combining bots have come. What's the best example of a combining bot? Am I going to say Fall of Cybertron Bruticus? I'm not really going to say that. I think it's R.I.D. Bullet Train. He's very nice. He's very, very nice. The Beast Combiners are very good too. Yes, they are. Yes, you must have the Beast Combiners. Look at his arms, though. Bless his little arms. His little odd, fey Frankenstein arms. And then you take his bucket and you reassert it into the bot like this. And you see I've opened up that gripper hooker thing. And he's not a bad looking bot, but he's just a little... He looks a little busted, doesn't he? He looks like he's coming apart a wee bit at the seams, and he really does. Have a look at his face sculpt. The finish on these bots just are not good. All over the place, they are not good, and that's just the way it is. Now, where are we going next? Got to look at their names, because I don't know all their names very well. This is Hightower. Hightower. I mean, so... Nice looking alt mode. What is it? It's going to be some kind of crane. But look at this little flaw here. The crane is completely joined at one end. I think what they probably done was, because the plastic, as I mentioned, is a little bit brittle and it's not finished very well, this probably broke off really, really easily. Although maybe this thing actually exists and it's a pulley vehicle. I don't know. I'm just guessing that they've decided to play it safe and close the hook of the crane because for safety reasons, I imagine. Not a bad looking thing. Another big yellow construction vehicle. Take this off. I don't like taking it off. Don't like taking it off because the instructions say to take it off. And then can you do it without? No, you do have to take it off because it becomes a part former then. This isn't. See, this would be fine if this was weapon, but his head is contained here, and that would make me a little bit sad normally. There's his legs. You see, look, he's got the foldy thing going on his legs too. I don't want to do too much to them because they could absolutely fall apart. This guy's a little easier. I forgot to show you. He's got these little stays for when he's doing his digging here like that. So they come out and then like that. That's cute. Ah, that's nice. I've just noticed them just now. Can't say I've ever noticed them before. The original color of these guys is good, and the reason to have them is I think this coloration is better. The reason to have the original color is the original version is because the plastic is so much better. Now there's a big blocky bot if ever I've seen one. What you got to do next? Look at this. Here's the thing you don't see often. Lift up this, and this is just housing for a little weapon, and that's an odd thing because he's the only one of the group who has one. And then we'll expose his head because we have to. So his head is there, which is a terrible shame. And it is a shame that his head isn't integrated into the main body. And indeed, you will not be able to transform this guy properly without taking off this. Without rendering a part former, you will not be able to do that. What happens here? This is a nice thing. I like this. Nice bit of movement. Watch this. Transforms into one of these. And why not? Yes, why not? This is going to go into his hand. He'll hold it just fine. The only one with a gun. So why not? There you go. This is a little Hightower. And he is very, very blocky. I haven't given him his toes yet. And his feet are so wide that he doesn't need to have these wee stays. But there we go. We'll pull them out like that. He is a big fat thing. Is he the one with the strange grimace? No, he's not. Oh, he's coming up. But he's not a bad looking thing. Again, it's just a finish issue. But so far, for good money, ladies and gentlemen, we've already got 2 bots and another 2 are on their way. Who's going to be next? Next into the fray, we have Wedge, who's the torso former. Look at that big Autobot symbol on his top there. Yeah, you got this kind of inner Johnny crackly thing going on that the originals don't have. They've got the color scheme. They've got this nice little silver aesthetic crackling through the body, but they just don't have the plastic. So, there's pros and cons for whatever version you want to get. The Universe version. Have you seen the Universe? Oh, Christ. So, he's an Earth Mover proper, isn't he? He's much smaller than the rest of them. Let me get next to Heavy Load. You'll see what I mean. He's so much smaller. Whenever you have them in the pack, he looks really, really tiny compared to them. But it's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind an ickle one. This guy is the torso of them all. That's coming off. That's a weapon, so it's okay. I don't mind. It's not like it has his head on him or anything like that. These are going to be his arms. Yes, they are. Now, having had these guys and thinking that I do actually like them, the next place for me to go is not the original version. It's not the original version. The next place for me to go is the Universe Devastator version. It is an interesting thing. The more Transformers I have, I'm saying a lot. The more Transformers I have, the more Transformers that I think, or rather, the more I think I know about Transformers. But still, the more that they appear and they present themselves to me, and they let me know that I never knew they existed. Rather like the Universe version of this guy, I was only made aware of him at Auto Assembly this year, and I seen 2 bits of him, and I didn't get it. Now, if all 4 bits were there, then I definitely would have got it. Little head reveal there at the very end. If all 4 bits were there, I definitely would have got it. But my experience of Universe is that the plastic is good with Universe, and the color schemes are always a little bit sexier than the original. So you've got good plastic and you've got a sexy color scheme. You can always count on Universe. Always count on Universe to give you those. Always count on Universe to give you those. Now, this is little Wedge. You can give him his little gun. He's got a double barrel gun thing here. He's much smaller than his teammates, isn't he? I never realised how much smaller he was. He's absolutely minuscule. Let's get him next to Hightower here and see. Yes, he's ickle. But this guy is the torso. He makes up the central portion absolutely every time. Bless him. Little thing. What did they say? Short and sweet. And the last place we're going is Heavy Load, and he must be the dump truck, obviously. He's the heaviest. Heavy Load is the heaviest. And why not? It makes sense. He's actually got the most going on, definitely in terms of plastic. You can really feel it. So, can he dump? Yes, he can. It's just as well, because it would be slightly disappointing if he couldn't dump. He is like the Hunt for the Decepticons payload. I remember that. I can't believe I did. Have him down there. I actually like that bot. I do like that bot. He's a pain in the ass to transform, but I do like it. Hunt for the Decepticons payload. He's like kind of the Voyager size of one of these from the recent times, How do we start them again? We started by taking that off. Doesn't matter, because this is going to be a nice bit of weapony, shieldy, claw action thing. Look at that. That's nice. He transforms very like his counterpart. Hightower. He's got the whole kind of leg and arm action thing going on. And there you go. And he also, this leg configuration, where the leg just opens out. You see now both, it's the same that the legs or rear wheels can be both arms or 1 foot. This guy is going to be 1 foot. No, this guy is going to be the arms in our bot. Because, like I said, there are a number of configurations you can give him, but I happen to like this guy being the arm shoulder section the most. I've tried others and they all look pretty good, but it's just the one that sticks. I don't know why I like it especially, because one's pretty much the same as the other. It's like Mexican food. You just wrap it differently. You know what I mean? He's got a little head in here. We're going to pull that out like that. Now, what's going on with this shit here? Ah, yes, okay. This has got to go all the way to the back. That's it. Then, bada bing, bada boom, head comes out. This is the guy with the face. This is the guy with the face. And he is possibly the most gangly. And do you know what he looks like? What do they call them? Those rescue bots. He looks like a rescue bot. My God, he really does. Especially in this color. Look, he looks like a rescue bot. Now, when I give you a close-up of his face, you can see he's got a little smirk. He does. Doesn't he look like a rescue bot? Bless him. Oh, that's nice. Big old feet. Yes. You can give him this kind of savage claw thingy. How does he hold that? I think he holds it like that. Yeah, that's the one way you can do it. And that's crazy. Look at that shit there, man. Oh, that does go in there, doesn't it? 1 second. So you can give him this. This can also become a kind of a big claw for Landfill, although I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I like to make this a shield. And the way to do that is by like that. Come on, you can go in there. Let's see it. Oh, come on, make me happy. There you go. Makes a very nice shield. It's a very big shield, and why not? So, there you go. Those are all 4 bots. I'm going to try and show you all 4 together. I'm not going to be able to hold them all. They are very nice because they have good alt modes and they have good bots. Good alt mode, good bots. Not great. Neither of them are fantastic. And then they also have a good combined mode. So as far as combiners go, those things which are normally compromised don't feature so much in these bots as they did in anything that came out of Generation 1. Maybe even Beast Wars. Very, very coherent, very nice. Now let's go on to Landfill so you can see this mother thrown together. And so there he is, all 4 of them combined, and he is really very, very nicely impressive. What's one of the most impressive things about this guy is that unlike the first issue, which is kind of multicolored and not extremely coherent, this guy is much more coherent because he is just obviously yellow, and he does stay together very well. The vast majority of combiners that we've ever got haven't stayed together especially well, and they've been a little bit delicate, and you've always been a little afraid to kind of pose them and or play with them or whatever you like to do with them. I like to display them and play with them and transform them. But this guy stays together very, very well. And here is various accoutrements. You see, we've got we'll take off this little shield, which was of course the heavy load, the bucket of heavy load, and here we have the bucket of Grimlock. Sounds like a very interesting order from KFC, doesn't it? So I'm going to take all the various accoutrements off. So this is your bare basic bot, if you will, and you see we've got an allusion to some kind of hand there, hand and thumb, and yeah, it's pretty good. The locking mechanisms at the back is really nice. The only problem with this guy is, like I say, the finish isn't very good, and the plastic is a little bit squiffy. Just to give you a little bit of, heads up, you can see possibly on his head, Landfill's head, is that the yellow is rubbing off, rather the silver's rubbing off there. Again, you just need to give it a little bit of a touch up and it's no problem. But you can do various things with these. You can make it be its little spiky claw thing. And can you place it? Yeah, you can place it so that he has his kind of savage claw mode there. But I don't like that. I like this to be a shield. So I'm going to put this as a shield there into the hand. And it looks and displays pretty good. And it's going to stay there. No problem. This little bad boy, which belongs to... See, it's so easy to forget their names. I did think it was Hightower. It is Hightower. This goes onto his back. And this forms a little gun turret that's just going to sit there very happily over the shoulder like that. And why not? Absolutely why not? And finally, lovely Grimlock. We can't forget him with his very strange little savage claw mode here, which isn't entirely convincing at all. I like to put this... Where was it I like to put it? I like to put it just here. There's a little post there's a little port rather on the back of wedges, little tracks there, and it just sits quite nicely in there. And it's a what? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Some kind of radar dish. Now, like I say, this is the second issue of this guy. The initial, of course, multicolored, and he looks pretty good. And the plastic is better. This is a good guy to start off with because you will get all four of them in a box for relatively cheap, I would imagine. But if you try and get all four of the original R.I.D, they're it's not going to be easy to get them all complete because they have that little compartments and they've got little bits and pieces, and they tend to be just a little bit more expensive, probably because they're the original release and they're a little better finished. But the one to go for is the Universe Devastator. He's very, very nice, and he's definitely on my list. Now, I did see bits of him at Auto Assembly, and it was the first time this happens at Auto Assembly when you go to conventions. It was the first time I was exposed to Universe Devastator. And of course, he's all four of these guys painted in green and purple, and a Decepticon. And that's always so much more fun. But this guy is a nice bot. Like, this is the configuration that works most for me. There are three of them. I haven't mentioned that before. Yes, there are three different configurations. And any one of there's one central bot, and then you can arrange the others in and around. And it's not the simplest thing in the world going to page and just following the instructions, because they're a little convoluted, but not distressingly so. Not in the way that the movie bots can be distressingly convoluted. I'm holding this guy from his back, and he's staying together pretty well. This is the configuration I like best. But there are three others. You can choose from them. And he's a very, very nice bot. It's always good to get stuff from an R.I.D line because it's underrepresented anyway. And it's nice to have a big yellow Autobot combiner that stays together so well. And where would we be without G2 Devastator? If we never had a yellow G2 Devastator, we'd never have this guy. But I do like him. He's odd. He's difficult. Not difficult to play with or be around, but just he requires a little bit of work. He requires a little bit of exactly what's going on the page there. You got to use your brain a wee bit, and I like that. Finish isn't great, but if you buy modern bots and you're used to a finish that isn't great. But I like him. This is the Walmart exclusive Landfill. All the little wonderful bots on the R.I.D line. And this is Ray signing out.
Now that's what I call a robot in disguise. Thank you very much. Good night.